So I am joined by Mr. Aliou Jallow. Mr. Jallow is the founder and program manager of Startup Incubator Gambia. This is a program that is designed to support young Gambian entrepreneurs in their development. Mr. Jallow, welcome to the Fatou Network.
Thank you, Lamin.
So I want us to talk about Startup Incubator Gambia.
Yeah.
This is an idea that started about 5-6 years ago.
Yeah.
Tell us, what is it all about, this Startup Incubator thing?
Yeah, so the Startup Incubator Gambia started in 2014 from a project grant document that I authored, and it was funded by the US State Department. One of the things that we actually was able to do is setting up the incubator is actually a concept that is actually helping entrepreneurs and young people to start their businesses and to be able to get the support that they need to actually grow their businesses to the next level. With incubations around the world, we realize that there's a lot of, it promotes innovation, it promotes creativity, and it's also a form of an environment where young people and entrepreneurs can come in and actually be able to develop their ideas and test their products and actually be ready to test it and put it out there in the market. And those that actually already have products and services will actually scale their business from that level in terms of accessing investment, in terms of accessing mentorship, coaching, and sometimes in most instances also have co-working spaces where you can actually have an office space where you can actually grow your business, because sometimes especially in Gambia now, it's the trend of high rental cost, because most businesses, when they start in their first 5 years of operations, there's a high rate of cost. And this was one of the reasons why we set up the incubator. And most importantly, from a development perspective, to encourage young people to go into entrepreneurship as a form of employment creation for entrepreneurs and young people to be job creators and not only job seekers, because we see the high rate of unemployment in our country and how we can actually be able to curtail that. And we wanted to create the the incubator as a platform to nurture talent and build a Gambian dream, basically, so that young people can make it here. And I think in the past 4 to 5 years, we have shown that it can be done in this country.
So how do you go about it?
So basically, with the incubation program, we have 2 sets of programs. In the first 3 years that we started, from the US State Department funding through the US Embassy in Banjo, we were able to set up an 6-month incubation program. So during this 6-month incubation program, young entrepreneurs apply to come to this program. We review. I remember the first application we received over 200 applications, and we only needed 20 people to get them into the program because there's a capacity we had to nurture those kind of startups. And it was really a very tedious process to review all these applications because everybody's excited and want to start their own businesses. And right after the application, we invite them for interview. We have a set of criteria in terms of whether the product ideas, the idea of business they want to do is innovative. We also want to see whether it's going to create employment opportunities for others, when it also is viable and basically start and grow. These are some of the things that we actually look into. And I think another biased part, but not biased in a sense, a focus part is in terms of women also. We give more advantage to actually women entrepreneurs because we want to create more women to go into business as well, because we found women are also very instrumental and very successful business people in this country.
And what we're saying was, since the inception of this idea,
yeah.
When you started this idea out, you were able to get a lot of money
yeah.
from the US government through
yeah.
their embassy.
Yeah.
How did that all go about? How did it go about?
Yeah, I think from the starting, it was, I remember myself, I started working with the American Corner as an intern. That's where I started my career, right from University of the Gambia. Then I moved into the American Chamber of Commerce as their business development manager. So whilst I was at the American Corner, I set up the Young Entrepreneur Association, where I was just interested in getting ourselves as young people coming together as one to create employment opportunities for young people. We started with seminars and workshops, to talk about entrepreneurship. We were interested in about investment and things like that. So this was something that was just out of passion that I started a side activity. But later did I realize that this is something that will end up being my career, I moved into the American Chamber as a result of my activities. So I became their business development manager. So during that time, I was running the association along the side as well, and we were running some projects and some activities. I decided to author a concept note of an incubator, and how the idea all came about is because we wanted to make a difference. Whilst I was presenting this idea to one of the U.S. State Department professionals that came in to train us, it was like, oh, why don't you look into incubators? I was like, what is an incubator? I've never heard of the word an incubator. So I just Googled it. When I Googled it, I realized there's Y Combinator, there's HiveUp, Kenya, Ghana, all these other countries have different incubators, and they're nurturing entrepreneurs. It's like, wow, this is something that I really want to do in my country. So I came up with the idea that I wanted to set up the first business incubator in the country. But the reality is I've never been into an incubator at the time. I never know what an incubator looks like or how it's going to work. So my whole knowledge of incubation was on research base. So I decided, okay, let me just write a concept note as to what I want to do in the country, and based on the elements of things that I've done, and authored this one concept note page that I had talked to so many people. As usual, entrepreneurs, people will not believe in some of your ideas. Sometimes the people who are very close to you might say, no, this is not going to work, and they might be right sometimes. At that moment, you don't have the resources, but if you believe and keep knocking doors, it will open out. So I sent in had a friend with Duro. Duro was working
Sami Duro.
Okay. Yes, was working at the embassy at the time, and was like, oh yeah, Ali, you once told me about this idea. I think there's a project there's an innovation fund we just received an opportunity, but we need some ideas. Do you have a innovative idea? I said, oh yeah. He said, okay, send it to me before. I said, when is the deadline? I said, it's tomorrow. I said, okay, I have some idea. Let me just send it to you. I sent in the idea.
You sent it to the embassy, the US embassy.
US embassy. I forgot that I even sent it. We refined it and fixed everything. We sent it. I forgot about that